afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. What off is an exciting and riveting 1 vs 1 on Langraskaya in the north. It is Use-M246, fighting for the German army. Deutschland taking on the role here with the 10th Panzer Division with Mechanized Assault right off the bat, featuring assault grenadiers, the Mechanized Assault Group, the Stug 3 Ausführung E assault gun, light artillery barrages, and the Tiger tank with double infantry Panzerfaust. The Panzerfaust technically is also the infantry bulletin. Whereas in the south it is Baoliang fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, and the 1st Guards Tank Corps here with airborne troops, mechanized support, and urban defense with triple infantry there as well. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and press that bell button. Also, big thanks to my patrons and supporters, without which this episode would not have been possible. So big thanks to you, you're all wonderful, charming people. And you too, if you're not already that, of course, can donate or Patreon page, support the Propagandacast as well. Links in the video description, and with that little commercial message out of the way there, we're back to our regular scheduled gaming here. Our warfare of the day. Double comes there for Baoliang, as we got assault gun MG42 there for use. He's obviously banking his opponent not going for a scout car here, since otherwise he'd be in a bit of a pickle. But without that, Use is going to have a much easier time here versus Baoliang. Soldiers, they're charging force, they're sprinting ahead there. The MP40's ready to hose any sort of infantry, getting too close to the letter, and there go, routed. Second assault squad up, they're constantly on the left flank of the MP42, and we got airborne troops of the Baoliang opening up for SVT-40, or airdrop weapons, though it's mostly always SVT-40s. Very well going to go for the submachine guns and say your conscript penal troopers. We got Discus there, we got the airborne rally points, which no one ever uses, Guards airborne troops, and the tactical artillery to make rocket run. Moving up here aggressively towards Baoliang's car front, constantly moving about here. MG42 on the comes inside the building there. Bit of quiet. Constantly about here. Up north, we got their soldiers moving in there for Use-M246. In the south, MG42 moving a bit too far ahead there for Use-M246. But of course, we got their soldiers quickly to cover the flank up here. But we got a deeper flank here from Baoliang that's going to leave Use-M246 in a bit of a tight spot. And he should precision machine gun then. But then that leaves him open here to push from the north from Baoliang. So bit of a risky situation put in, but there you go. Assault squad number 2 moving to cover the car on there. Concentrate right here by the MG42. Assault grenadier combo there from Use-M246. Some heavy and intense fighting here between these two combatants in the first opening moments of the game there. As Use-M246 there just tries to land a devastating opening blow here in Baoliang and leave him, well, rather exposed there. Comes there being slowly cut to ribbons. They're ready. Just heavy machine gun and submachine gun fire there from Use-M246 is leaving Baoliang here flabbergasted as he's fervently tried to defend his car on there from Use-M246 and the German army. And there you go. Conscript squad, soldiers put back there. More troops from about the MB4 to the coming the car. One's going to have to go for a deeper flank here. We got the assaulters also covering up against such possibilities. Comes to pressed. Engineers bring up here. Might be able to flank the MB4 and then for the engineer squad. It's going to be a bit tricky. Comes with there. Landing some hits on the assault guners. Other squad pinned down there. Go engineers. Opening up the MB4 and there go. Either he was intentionally setting up. The actually means he's exposed to the MB4 from the south. There go. Flamethrower. Oh, suppressed. Gun squad riders, soldiers moving, but there you go, moving to the south here on the MG42. Here's some very intense fighting. I do believe Use is actually taking up there. Yes, indeed. So, very light tier 1 here, basically just relying on the shock effect of just hitting hard on his opponent's car point. Probably wouldn't have been much more possible on other maps compared to like Langraskaya, which does have this sort of straight line between the car point. So, a very bold strategy here for Use-M246, filling up with the Panzer Grenadiers for a bit more mid-range firepower, rather compared to the submachine guns of the assault grenadiers. So far, though, he's not been able to really cut off Baoliang's field, but he's still been able to gain a chunk of the map. Then just keep Baoliang on the defense to make it much easier to just stall for the tech and push out the fast Panzer Grenadiers. So thumbs up to Use-M246. Baoliang, though, is far from out of this. He can actually soon begin dropping down the SVT-40s there. Force counter control around, in which case the assault grenadiers will find themselves struggle a bit more to get close for their submachine guns and force setting up. But honestly, that in such a weak condition that I think Use is going to have to retreat that one very soon before it gets right. Flame dudes moving up. There we go. First weapons crate there being dropped to support the frontline troops. MG42, I think that's going to fall back. No, yeah, it sort of is falling back. I was sort of thinking more of a hard retreat rather than just a slight repositioning there. Punch moving up in the flank here. Constantly engaging the assault grenadiers here. Engineers close there, but with the Panzer MG42, the engineers will be forced to retreat. There we go. Quick response to the Baoliang. Thumbs up. Consequence, the assault grenadiers at long range. The Conscripts win this one easy. Make no mistake. Soldiers moving up on the other side. Might try and go for the car plant. Got Conscripts blocking up here against the assault grenadiers. Good work there by Baoliang and his frontal Vix. machine continue. I mean, Use is really pushing the MD-42. They're squeezing as much as possible there. Oh, you should be well aware that one mistake here and that MD-42 is toast and could very well certainly become Soviet Army property. Assault goes there, routed. Got this SPT-40 comes there, laying some heavy hits. Panzers even at long range versus these will struggle a bit there. So he will have to fall back there. He will have to fall back. Panzer going to there, route it. Fun fact about the SPT-40, it was actually intended for the Soviet Army to be fully equipped with SPT-40s. It was supposed to replace the Mosin Nagant as the main battle rifle of the Soviet Army. It just, the war happened before they actually get around to doing that. Production was much harder to sort of retool when you're under, being attacked and all that. So that rather got put on hold. So while there were certainly entire units equipped with it, it was not all Soviet infantry equipped, and many had to just make do within Mosin Nagant. But there goes all charging in there with Pioneers backing up. So there we go. Good push there for the car point. Disruptive play there against Use-M246. Turn the tables around there. Go quick assault grenades off there, but they go way too wide there. Way over the mark there. And all of a sudden, use another one pinned inside of his own base. He's going to have a harder time here. Of course, Baoliang doesn't have a machine gun to hold up things here, so it may be harder there for him to hold. Of course, with SPT-40s, it's going to be a bit tricky nonetheless for you to push through. And there you go. Use decides to look to another solution. It's the Mechanized Assault Group. 250 half-track there filled with Panzer Grenadier, giving him more assault infantry, giving him more mobility, more ways to pressure Baoliang. And Baoliang, as the current speaking, does not have anti-tank grenades. So there you go, moving up here. I think what he's trying to do is go in sort of a wide arc behind Baoliang here. I threaten the control on the retreat path there. No, he pushed for the eastern fuel point, deciding to keep it Soviet free. The already the point has been under neutral. We're pursuing the engineers, so hitting a more isolated exposed unit, trying to get a wipe here. You got the DK machine gun being airdrop there for Baoliang, and the Red Army up north here, constantly routed here by the MD-42 and the assault grenadiers, pushing forward there for the German Army. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. We got the medic bunker up there for Use-M246. Panzer Grenadier D-bus there from the 250 half-track. Disco being recruited here, or crewed up in the first place in Baoliang's base. Panzer Grenadier meanwhile lead the assault here, trying to keep Baoliang here a bit on the defensive close to his own base, force him to slow down a bit as he tries to make as much progress as possible. Use again just trying to counter-disrupt his opponent there. Both players are clearly aggressive, experienced players who know a thing or two about warfare. Comes something out there for Baoliang. Troops healing and forcing. Panzer moving towards the car point there, but they're quickly halted there by Baoliang's conscripts. We're having none of that. Up north here, point being screwed up by the Pioneer. Assault guns are not fully reinforced. 250 after this time filled with assault grenadiers setting out there for Use-M246. Very good there, very good. Rolling hit there. Con's about to get in the way of that, I think, though. There he goes into the 250 after, and the Panzer is taking heavy damage there. Con's quickly retreating. Two squad fighters so far equipped with SPT-40s. I imagine the two others will soon be equipped as well there, since it's just a straight up plain upgrade for the conscripts. So you only just want all of them upgraded with it as fast as possible, unless you're planning some to have like mobilized reserves down the road. Disco creeping up the right flank here. 250 up going for a flank, but there you go, conscripting about. And this time Baoliang does have the anti-tank grenades. Additionally, Baoliang is taking up there with the tank in command. Very good work there versus Use-M246, who doesn't have a lot of anti-tank weapons. Of course, in a pinch, you can go for Panzerschrecks. They generally do not want to upgrade the Panzers without, unless there's like a specific required situation. They're just, in a lot of trouble. But wait, Temp in command almost done. Could go for the T-70. Use does not would like to make a nice company up. He doesn't have any armor up. Any armor ready there from say Tech either, so a T-70 is going to hurt Use-M246 there quite significantly from Baoliang. Almost got the engineer squad. He's really going hard in. He's trying to get the wipe. Can he get the wipe? Can he get the wipe? Oh, the engineer gets away. Close one there. SPT-40 comes out doing heavy damage to the assault and is forcing them to retreat there. Could try and pop defensive mode here to slow down the advancing conscripts, or he could just back off, and he decides to back off. T-70 here ready to be called in for Baoliang and the Red Army. The 1st Guards Tank Corps comes from the west side here for Baoliang and the Red Army. Oh, never mind. Baoliang has bigger plans. More tanky plans. He's going for the Mechanized Armor Company there. Good lordy lord. Mechanized Assault Group here in the center, fending off against the advancing conscripts. Panzer moving in there as well for Use-M246. And there we go, trying to swing and save around against the crunch with the Mechanized Assault group, but decides perhaps not that time anyways. Panzers there versus 2 crunch squads with the disco backing up. I don't think those panzers will hold out long. West side there is also making good progress for use, though we can see Baoliang is trying to unravel that fascist lane of influence there. Mechanized Armor Company almost done. He can... Well, it's going to take some time before he can rush out the T-34-76s, but once he does, I mean, Use is going to have a harder time. Of course, the question is, Use right now may not be quite aware of what direction Baoliang's strategy is going for. Should prepare for the T-70, should try and push it for his own arms, so you can say be ready for the Mechanized Armor Company, because right now, it's clearly, look, here that Baoliang's going to try and swing. Oh, dear, he's gone for the likely Mechanized Company. He's going for 2-2s. He might not be quite concerned that Baoliang, in fact, may be pushing for T-34-76s for him right down and hard. So Use it could find himself forced to go for at least some Panther checks to sort of at least initially stall up from the T-34s. All the 2-2 almost done. Baoliang Nemo make good progress in the east side. He's counter, or at least attempts to slow down Use's influence in the west here. At the same time, push out him, got the Infantry Company up. Interesting back take there for Use as well. Definitely not what I expected at this current state of affairs, but then again, would have been an unusual match. We got a mortar on the way for Use. Oof, he might get a really nasty surprise in a few minutes once Baoliang hits him with that T-34-76. I mean, obviously the mortar's still going to be good. He's Wehrmacht. Wehrmacht tends to benefit from good combined arms. The mortar is that regard. No excuse there. But it's nonetheless going to have a bit of a harder time against T-34-76, which is going to happen anytime now. Here in these countries, the assault grenades got the 2-2 moving up here for Use-M246 and the German army, the 10th Panzer Division. Perhaps got a bit too close. Are they damaged engines? Still getting some damage in the contra. The front of it, machine gun holding up here. West side, they're going for the carve point here in the center. Contra up in the center. Map has certainly switched to sort of, we'll show, say, capping points there. A lot of action going on here. A lot of dying. A lot of maneuver. 2 thumbs up to that part. Lots of maneuvering there. MD42 in the bad spot. They pushed away. Already got wiped once. So Uses probably displaying a bit more caution this time around. Very good. Also just needs the fuel pump. We got the mortar there opening up on the machine gun in the position. Quick tree position that already though. Good work by Baoliang. And we got the Pack 40. And that cancels the Pack 40 and techs up. Bit late for that one. I mean, of course, still go for pattern pension. There's also termites done here, so obviously has ways of slowing down the T-34-76, but nonetheless, it feels like a bit of precarious situation for Use. A bit of a precarious one. But so far, it's been able to be quite disruptive here versus Baoliang, and certainly play others quite well, so maybe he has a few tricks up his sleeves to ensure that the shock value of the T-34-76 is not something that's going to completely knock him out of the wall, but that T-34 is gonna hurt. Make no mistake. Panzer is in the center victory point. We got 436 with 437 so far. Very close race between the two. We got the CIS-3 divisional field gun there for Baoliang, just in case the opponent hits him with a fast tank. Or something else he's not expecting, like say a Stuggy, which gives him a headache there. Engineer center right here. T-34 for Baoliang and the first Guards tank corps. She's in the western point. And he goes for the Stuggy, unaware so soon will be making an encounter with the T-34-76, where the Stuggy is not particularly well suited. Not in the game, not on the actual war. Like, in the actual war, though, they did later on receive heat rounds by 1942, I believe. That sort of gave them a chance versus them. And KV tanks, by the way, which, while it was a great surprise to the Soviets, they found the tanks being knocked out from far greater ranges than usual. But they're going to need to get the Stuggy up in the conscript, landing a nice hit there with its 75mm cannon, or Stummel, as they called that one. But this is short-barreled 75mm cannon. Which would after, as the Stuggy sort of being switched over to the Stuggy with a higher velocity gun. The gun itself that was still used on a variety of armoured cars and half-tracks as sort of an infantry support weapon. Little fun fact there. Stuggy that hits the mine. T for the first mobilized T for Baoliang and the Red Army. Punch was there. Ooh, he's going to get it into the telemine there. There we go. Need to fall back here. Also, a lot of munitions have suddenly vanished. Probably in part due to the veteran squatters and the assault grenadiers. There may also be some Panzer bombed somewhere, in this case Telemines. Oh wait, Telemine does bomb some time. The T-54's not going to be racing down this. He may just have time to bring up the Pack 40 now, so even there, Telemine of course has a lot of utility. Even like doesn't destroy a tank. If you don't have anti-tank weapons, it can just buy you the time you need to bring it up to the front line. So thumbs up there to use, even though I would say his strategy has been a bit somewhat high risk, but sometimes you just gotta risk it. Well, probably not for a biscuit. As long as there's a conscript falling back undercover the other conscript squad. Stugi being fixed up, 2-2 still awaiting repairs, and the 250 after they've into two kills, he's just hanging back, having a nice time. Pack 40 ready. T-34 is being steadily fixed up. We got minesweepers. Obviously, one telemine goes off, you get minesweepers because you do not want to like hit another mine there. Mortar barrier wiped out there for use. That's going to hurt. There you go. Big swarm in from Baoliang. Quickly pushing past the machine gun. Panzers are trying to stall up the assault here, but there's less many conscripts. The Panzer Grenadiers, despite their prowess and skill, may not be quite sufficient. Turning up with SPT-40 conscripts and or 7-man conscripts there as well. More troops being moved. Got the Stugi bombarding. His shot flies across the shed, but doesn't quite land on anyone's head. Well, except for Heinz, but you know, he's made of sterner stuff. There you go, ground the mortar. T-56 moving in. Pack 4, they're ready here. Nice shot there. Panzer assaulters were almost wiped out here. Stugi bombards. Pack 40 about to land on the hit, and the T-54. Oh, never mind, it isn't. Nice hit there from the Stugi on the conscripts, leaving the unit a bit deprived there. Sturmgeschütz strike out swinging advances. High explosive shells ready to deliver high impact malevolence upon the third infantry. Panzerjägers, they're ready for use alongside the Pack 40. Well, obviously he's going to try and stall for the Tiger, or he'd like to go for medium arm besides the Stugi to that way put pressure then Baoliang. Field gun bombardment, there you go, Panzer 6 landing upon the T-34-6. Obviously, had there been actual Panzer 6, that T-34 would have been toast. But you know, that's a bit more difficult to balance properly in games, so you know, they don't do that. Units from right there in the west. And these side coming back here for Baoliang, the Red Army advances. St. On uses eastern field upon there. Defended, exposed, isolated.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Coming out the centre, Panzers, they're routed by the 3rd Infantry. Grab the Western Victory Point there. We got 414 versus 421. Stugi bombarding, 2 kills so far. Assault guns, they're riding the conscripts with a well-placed fire. We got this 3 Division field gun opening up there, shoots and misses. Fires, we got the conscripts at 2-2. So far, we only seen air-dot weapons and Dishka here from Baoliang. We got the assault gunners, the Mechanized Assault Group, and the Stugi here. Just these lightly bouncing the Titan. He's got full bingo. And go T-54 moving up. Panzerjägers there. Panzerjägers on the fire from the T-54-6. Might go straight for the 2-2, try and knock it out here. Could even flank the Stugi and leave Use in a very bad spot. The Stugi bars gained veterans 1-3 kills there. Round here comes the fire. Then we got the Cis 3 Division field landing. A great hit on the Stugi. Need to get out there. Now it gets knocked out of the war. Close shot there from the field gun, but it did miss. Assault gunners pushed off the eastern fuel point. Use is in a very pretty good position. Needs to do, I think, some greater maneuvers here to get the field away here from Baoliang. He may want to put up for a larger push down the west side here. Instead of just, you know, constantly pushing down through the center where every gun from Baoliang and the Red Army is currently pointing. But there you go. Lots of shots fired there. Rockets narrowly missed the T-34-6. I'm sure giving the crew there a bit of a shock, but no casualties. Bung grenade there flung after the field gun. Done quite anything. There you go. Mortar round wipes the Dishka machine gun. Great hit there, and we can see the Users Pioneers making a run for the Dishka machine gun, adding another machine gun there to his forces, augmenting his firepower significantly against Baoliang's softer targets. If he can get it back, though, to safety. The T-34 obviously may have a few words about that. Noting here, Baoliang uses the resources, got the resource for more T-34s. He could also go for the Katyusha, and he said he goes for the HD-5. I don't know. Don't think it's quite necessary at the moment. I feel like another T-34 for more aggressive maneuvers would be great. Or a Attrition for blasting through use of support weapons and infantry. Though again, he could also just go for a pair of mortars, which would probably do the job quite well too. But oh wait, the H-85 here certainly feels like a bit more of a peculiar choice for me. Not what I would personally advise. Western makes upon their seas. Central 1 being seized here with their assault gun leads. Him fortunate to back up. Here's 6 kills, Veteran 2. Eastern 1 being claimed here with the Red Army alongside the Eastern Fuel. H-85 almost done there for Baoliang. And there go Panzergrenadier catching the Crumbs in a pretty bad spot. Close at ace level there. And that Crumbs then at close range will be forced away. There we go. Routed. That's what's making rush as well. Crumbs got their lone health. Forced retreat as well here as the right flank unravels like a poorly knit sweater. Uses tearing it apart. T-34 opening up their 7 kills, 8 kills. The kill count slowly rises here. As Use is sitting about, they're destroying Baoliang's field gun, wrecking the anti-tank weapon, entirely preventing Baoliang its usage against Use. H-5 carrying out the center here. West side, they move up troops. Grenades being flung. A flurry of explosions. Stu also joining in here. Consul pressed as he tried to avoid the grenades that get caught here by the MD-42's volume of death. On the east side here, Panzergrenadier moving force there for Use-M246 and the German army steadily advancing across the grassy fields. Stu here takes a bit of a hit from the H-85 medium tank destroyer. Eastern victory point being secured. Big push in the centre. Assault grenadiers barely holding out here as Baoliang unleashes a torrent of lead and death. And probably a few insults as well. Decent hit from the Stugi. Mortar landing another hit there. 7 kills, Veteran 2 not far off. Stugi lands a great hit there. Halfway to the ace level. T-4 moves straight through the centre round to the Pack 40. Disco though getting whacked here by the dug-in conscripts. Bit of a loss there for Use-M246, though not one I think Baoliang can quickly punish him for by grabbing it as well. In that regard, it's a bit too close to everything else. Mortar there gaining Veteran 2. Sehr good. Thumbs up to Use for nice use of the mortar so far. Though I think he could be using the barrage, using the smoke a bit more. Eastern Fuel much more the threat. Western 1 not being threatened there by Use. He definitely should consider that. And there go in the centre. Conscripts routed here under heavy punishing fire there from the machine gun and the punishing threatening as well. 250 after this point. I think it's primarily just being used as a fort reinforcement point. Nothing wrong in that. The person will probably use it a bit more aggressively, but again, used as a sort of mobile command bunker at this point in the game is perfectly fine, really. As it is quite handy as that. But definitely needs to get a bit closer to the Pack 4 to reinforce it and such. Now the T-54 finding a way for Baoliang. North here, assault going to hit a mine. Heinz und Ludwig blown to bits. We got 367 versus 402. Now the T-54 almost done for Baoliang. I really think he'd benefit from artillery again. Just a simple mortar could do a lot, since that way, considering the fact that Use is using this point, so say it's the anchor point of all of his defences, throwing down a smoke screen here with a mortar could severely disrupt Use's ability to defend, could cause quite confusion, and allow Baoliang to launch a significant push that could completely unhinge Use and possibly win the game. I mean, he's pushing so many like vital elements just in one spot, so smoke screen here would be really tough to deal with, coordinate with a proper attack, and again, just could be game winning, or at least leave Use in a very bad place that's going to be very difficult to return from. Like, I don't know, England right now? The whole post-Brexit thing? Anyway, Stugi buying the conscripts. Halfway to the east level, ground the western point here. Disconnect. Being blasted. T-4 being pushed back. Heavy damage from the rockets. Conflict against the Pioneers on the eastern side. Eastern victory point exposed. MD-42 they're hosing away. We got close to Betty on that machine gun crew. Very good there. Might want to use the incendiary pistol rounds if possible. Baoliang is not really getting much of his doctrine at this point. No, say Guards Airborne troops could run with a bit more of an assault element. Obviously, rocket strafes do require a bit more setup, but at the same time, so far there's been no attempt at using it. I still feel like a mortar right now would be a great pick. Mortars do tend to get somewhat, I feel like, undervalued by a lot of players. But a well-handled mortar, in my experience, can just be a really powerful tool. 8 kills there. Bit of quiet between the two, bit of a stalemate. T-50 moving up here. Gets a nice hit on the assault units. Panzer's moving up there with their Panzer Schreck. They're catching Panzer Books. Pack 40 also lands a good hit there, pushing Baoliang's T-50 almost to half health. SU-5 again just feels like a mismatch. I mean, obviously, at this point, User's going for a target tank, and once a target tank hits, great, but, you know, he probably could have made it much harder for User to go for a target tank in the first place. Had he gone for something else, and been a bit better able to pressure Use and make it hard for him just to stall out. So, not, I would argue, an optimal choice there for Baoliang. And I think there could have been better choices. I mean, sure, once the target hits, SU-5 would be great, but again, I feel like he could have made it harder again for User to just push them, so to punish them than for it. Pack hit on the SU-5, like the pack's not moving. Again, Mortar here would be a really good investment. Even if you could choose your rocket launcher, I think would be pretty good. But either way, Baoliang really should consider investing in some artillery. Also, mines. That's actually something I just realised. Baoliang's got a lot of munitions, and he could easily just afford to lay down so many mines here versus Use. Got bombarded, T-50 moving up, the sniper getting the discount machine gun crew. Panzer X flying, landing nicely on the T-54 from 6. German Mortar continues to hammer away there, 12 kills. Now you go rocket straight in here against the Stugi, I imagine. I mean, the enemy does a lot less versus other units. Machine crew wiped out. Rockets not really doing much there. It did slightly disrupt their User's position in the center, but can Baoliang to take advantage of that? Counter-charge, unfortunately, the Stugi. Devs hit there from the Knights. A Stugi, and there you go. Baoliang does finally commit to the Katyusha rocket launcher, but by now, Use-M246 has called in the Tiger tank, the Schwerer Panzer Kampfwagen 6 Tiger. And that's obviously going to make things a bit more difficult for Baoliang in some ways. Though, of course, he does have the HC-5, so it's not like, you know, User's going to steamroll him with a Tiger tank unless Baoliang does something really dumb. I do feel like going for double Panzerjägers in the Panzerjägers, or Panzergrenadiers, I think is a bit much. I feel like only one wasn't really necessary to have that many Panzerjägers. Definitely feels like a mistake, then a bit of waste of good Panzergrenadiers for me personally. Definitely trying to put up on the left flank here. Mortify continues to lay down here from the water, close to the best free on it. Shidougi shoots, good hit. Decent start there, comes from into the 2-2 here, MD-42 as well, they suppress them further east, there another comes moving up. Pinlock machine now to the Tiger tank. Conscript there suppressed by the MG-42 and routed. No mercy shown there by User's MG-42 crew there. Western point being seized there by User, of course, trying to break Baoliang's stranglehold on the victory points. Very good work there by Use. Bit of skirmishing there. Defense force the Sultans, punching up to your Titan, also advancing here for Use-M246. Pioneer supporting with March, but in case Baoliang has been mining though again, Baoliang so far has not shown much of an interest in mining. In the centre there, bit of skirmishing on constantly forwards there. Getting blasted there by the Sturmgeschützrasen. And there you go, Katyusha rocket launcher fires a deluge of rockets screaming through the skies. The pack crew annihilated. No chance of survival there. The rockets exploded the crew. Pack destroyed as well. The denying uses vital anti-tank acid. Of course, he still has other options for dealing with it. That is the armor, but nonetheless, losing the pack will hurt here versus Baoliang. His HC-5 landing good hit on the Tiger tank as well. And so it's going to be hard for him to keep the HC-5 at bay now, since he's now lacks a long-range weapon to deal with it. So that is a significant loss there for Use-M246. But we'll have to see if Baoliang can actually exploit this versus Use. And of course, this means Use will have to rely more on actual maneuvering here versus Baoliang again, rather than just moving straight ahead and just keeping at bay there. Machine gun there wiped out by the way as well. Katyusha rocket launcher will take some time to be able to fire again. Obviously, one option right now to consider for Use maybe to try and make a sort of sneaky dive or flank here and take out the Katyusha by outmaneuvering Baoliang's front line. Disc recruit there by Use. Mortar ace level with 12 kills. Shrugi. Ace level as well with 14 kills.
Our territory.
Ooh, hits another mine. He's been mining up the left flank, it seems, but it seems like nowhere else has Baoliang to lay down any mines versus his opponent, which feels a bit strange. At least I suppose there's been some mining here from Baoliang, though it still feels a bit haphazard. Islam gets another shot, then the Stugi this time around. Tiger Tank shoots again, misses. Katyusha rocket launcher half fleet to veteran 2-1. Another great barrage there, could push it very fast to hit, then leave using a bit of tide pursuit. As you might have noticed, begin to spread out his troops more, except when he's lining up for the assault here. If Baoliang went to spot this build up there, he could fire the Katyusha straight into it. In this case, he doesn't. He's just firing a bit more blindly here. Great for use, since again, blind fire artillery fire is usually a lot less accurate fire, and obviously just more likely to just do zip. So great luck there for use that Baoliang decided after the great artillery strike to just waste the next one. Only got one kill out of that one. T-56 then knocked out by an alpha strike, almost hit by Use-M246. Full set of Pantrix plus the Titan just annihilated Baoliang's T-54 on the left flank. Infantry support there, of course, really didn't help that either. T-54 there on the side here, almost got the machine gun and the 222. Ace machine gun knocked out. In fact, both machine crews are gone. Right flank, the Fuse is actually collapsing, and there might be an opening here for Baoliang to do some heavy damage to use if he exploits this. Maybe. 250 over there, because they still got the 2-2 Tiger Tank moving in. Punch as well, they need to get the T-54 out of there. Good hit on the Tiger Tank. 8 kills, close to veterans 1. He's developing his seats, could grab him before turn against him. Use-M246, there you go, grabbing it, there you go, Gebaldeladen, flung at the machine gun crew, exploding the crew and leaving it once more open for the gems to seize back for Deutschland. Punny's making run for it, Tiger Tank shoots, 9 kills. Use, I think, definitely wants to start taking up, bring up other support corps in the heavy pants, bring up more tanks to support his armor. He's going for another Pack 40 there. Stugi there with 17 kills. Punching away there at Baoliang's troops. I do apologize for my cat meowing in the background. He does occasionally get like that. So don't worry, it's not your cat meowing. If you have cats. Or your dog meowing. If you have dogs. Anyways, T-54 there. Slowly on the way for Baoliang. Rockets there flying, almost got the dish cannon machine gun. Bit of a better barrage, but still not quite there. Punches him on the left flank. Stugi just continues to murder away there merrily at Baoliang's troops. Punches him up there. Oh, yeah, that's going to get painful there for the Issue-5, unless, of course, it misses. Still, needs to get the Issue-5 out of there now. And Baoliang definitely did not get out of there now. T-54 moving up in by this Ace T-34. Going here for a flank on it. Bit risky, bit risky. Lands a few hits there. So much munition being flooded here by Baoliang. It's just a lack of mines, and just the occasional opportunistic Sturmovik rocket run. To the badge in it. So now at this point, users very much got a full doctrinal bingo. Every ability has been used here by Use-M246 against Baoliang. 2 thumbs up to that. Meanwhile, Baoliang at most has used 3 abilities. He's still not calling any guards airborne troops, and we've certainly not seen any airborne rally points. So again, you can't blame him for that one. You can't blame him for that one. Concentrating westwards, concentrating centrewards. Stugi shoots, 18 kills. Soldiers right on the left side. Counter there as the Punchy Eagles pushing through the centre here for Use-M246. Another barrage here from the rocket launcher, this time trying to disrupt the Punchy as they advance through here. Close one actually was pretty close there for Baoliang. Could have been very punishing there for Use-M246 in this case though. Rockets didn't quite align and Use was able to salvage both Punchy Jaeger squads. Still no sign of armor there from Use. Well, more armor besides the Titan and the Stugi. Thumbs down on that one for Use. I definitely would not Let's grab that. This would be an amazing move there. Target tank gets a good hit from the HD5 tank. So VT2 gained. Trying to outmaneuver him there. Going for a flank here with the T-34-6. Could try and ram and then just combine that with a Sturmovik rocket run here. Bit of a sneaky tactic. Definitely a lot of players don't like, but it works. So there you go, ramming it. Oh, and it just gets knocked out right before you can call it in there. Close one there for Baoliang. But yeah, those Panzerschrecks there completely torn apart. You may want to consider bringing up more machine guns to actually help deal with them. Another disc could be quite helpful for that. Katyusha rocket launcher is almost good to go there. We got 314 versus 176. Baoliang time to fall behind. You see in terms of victory. Ponton built Western building pushed out by the Tiger tank. 15 kills. Ace Duke there with the disc down the right flank. Wouldn't be a problem there for Baoliang. And the first guards tank cut. Pioneer's close being wiped out. He's actually gone for 5 infantry squads now. I don't know if like 5 crunch squads would make a lot of sense. Again, I feel like just a single guards airborne squad then with either submachine guns or the triple DP light machine. I think would quite helpful here for Baoliang versus Use, but that might just be me. Going for another T-34, very good. Panzerjäger shouting head again. Katyusha rocket launcher, good to fire again. Baoliang grenade off. There we go, straight to the Panzerjägers. Oh, really bad luck, but there you go. That was a great hit from the T-34. Panzerjägers annihilated. Panzerschreck dropped. That's pretty big there for Baoliang, except the only engineers can grab it. Still getting a full wipe there. Plus a Panzerschreck drop will certainly be a bit of use there to Baoliang. Now the question is, can he actually follow up on it? Oh, it's obviously going to be less impactful. Wait, 10 kills, that's one the Katyusha. Nice hit on the Tiger tank, half health. Second T-34, they're done again here for Baoliang and the Red Army. But he's flooding a lot of munition, like, definitely. Oh, he doesn't even get the Panzerschreck. Use does. Oh, that's a bit of a flop there alongside again. 800 munitions being floated. I mean, not good, Baoliang, not good. Continuing ahead here. Getting a bite there by the Tiger tank. We got 23 kills on it. Grenade assault against the Frontoviks. Seeing them slowly torn to bits here by all of the firepower uses on the field here. T-4 landing grid hit on the return. We got a slow Huawei. 28 kills. A real beast here of the Red Army. 19 kills on the Stu Yi. Tiger tank with 25 kills. We got 314 versus 107. Baoliang is swiftly bleeding out. Imagine if he'd mined a bit better here, and maybe also mined at times when he had a bit more presence there. I think that'd been great for Baoliang here versus Use. Definitely a bit of an oversight there. No artillery strike called in here by Use-M246. Light in front, like shoots. There you go. Great hit from the Tiger into the midst of the conscript. Stugi lands white, and there you go. Artillery fire could wipe them out. Oh, God Lord. Both squads somehow make it out of there. Existing, but anything but intact. They're down to just one man each. That's a total of 11 men just gone in the blink of an eye. A staggering blow there to Baoliang and the Red Army. And a unit wiped on the west side, and he is gone. Baoliang is starting to suffer some severe losses here versus Use-M246 units being wiped center, left, and right. And he's struggling to maintain false cohesion. As Use's firepower is starting to really just punch him very, very hard. T-34 straight for the Tiger tank. I think he's going to just try and ram it here and call in the rocket strike. Yes. Can the rockets land though? Got the Tiger tank. Got the Tiger tank. The magic question, of course, is that worth an T-34 there for Baoliang? I mean, Use can't easily go for a replacement Tiger, so if we get out another T-34 soon enough, only enough, he might have a shot here versus Use now. But again, the question is, can he follow up? Can he follow up on this? So far, Baoliang has shown to struggle to actually fill up on these those great opportunities when they happen. Like, for example, that Katyusha rocket or Panzer right there. Rocket screaming through the air there, blowing apart the ground without much of a care. Contact on the west side here for Baoliang, contact on the center here. Very close to death though. Low health. Down to 4-man. Mortar fire. Stugi finally got 18 kills in the mortar there. 28 on the Sturmgeschütz. East side here we got contact with the Panzerjägers. 49 points left. Bun grenade tears through the conscripts. Pioneers being straight here for the conscripts. There's one on the west side. We got 20 kills. Pioneers halted in their tracks. Disco there with 6 kills. Pack 41 kill. 250 half there by Veteran Fleet is still alive. That is definitely one of the longest surviving 250 half tracks on Mechanized Assault we've ever seen in some time. Then again, only at this point he's primarily just been using it as a Fort Command bunker, so it does make sense it survived so long, but even then, it's still kind of impressive to see there. More shots fired there. Grenade assault here being flung at the machine gun crew. Baoliang's forces are being shredded here as assaults falter in the face of Use-M246's stalwart defenders. I mean, in terms of population, they're roughly at the same size, but composition-wise, there are some notable differences there. Building collapses. Half tick some repairs, particularly the Stugi. Soldiers of the council up close. Both 53, can't call the same man up. Oh, they're not lying in cover, so the soldiers might just have a shot there. There we go, right in the front of it. Machine crew wiped out. Katyusha there, 14 kills. I think Use is just setting up for another Tiger tank now. I mean, he's got such a victory point lead, like even if he loses it for a bit there, he can just send things around against with the Tiger. At least that's what he imagines. Baoliang's T-54 hard at work. We got it moving up here. Trying to take out that Stugi. That could certainly hurt the German army. There we go. Shot went straight through the side armor with ease. One more shot and that Sturmgeschütz Lauswing he will be kaput. Panzerjäger charging forwards. There goes Stugi. Somehow survives the hit, but it won't for much longer. There we go. He's even ramming it. Calling in a rocket strafe here on the 250 half track. Or perhaps the shed. Are they Stugi down? Can Baoliang afford such trades against Use-M246 when he's about to hit him with a Tiger tank? At least he's using the munitions, but really he should be laying down some mines. I mean, just some flare mines here with the conscripts will do a lot of growth there versus Use-M246. Katyusha that half-age Veteran grenade there, tearing through the machine gun crew. Mortar fire threatening to snuff them any moment as well there. 20 kills on that Granatenwerfer. We got 307 versus 22. Seconds away from a Tiger tank for Use. Seconds away. Soldiers versus the conscripts. Second Tiger tank up for Use-M246. More heavy arm being brought forth there to the front line here. Katyusha rockets launcher unleashing hell there. Hoping to catch some units retreating or moving forwards, but holy smokes, that actually landed somehow pretty great, causing significant casualties, almost hitting 22 that. But I don't think it's sufficient to really stop Use here. And half-tank Bellway still alive, but yeah, I think that's about to end there. Conscripts there, charging at it, anti-tank grenade. Finally ends the reign of the 250 half-track. Contact hit there from the Tiger tank, got 4 kills on it. Age 5 there, close to the ace level. Assault was making another push here, backed up by the Tiger tank for Use. We got 285 versus 22. Baoliang is fervently holding, but for how much longer can he hold? His men are battered, bruised, and beaten. They continue to fight. Their bodies may not longer hold in the face of the German assault and Baoliang's massive stockpiling of munitions. Target tank push back there. Front pushing heavy for Baoliang. Another shot fired there. Solid shouting head there. Another rocket straight feet. We got 3 points left, but there you go. GG for Baoliang. A loss here for the Red Army. A victory for the German one. A bloody battle here on Langraskaya. I feel like then the Baoliang A should have used this mission more efficiently, but at the same time, that A35 I think was incorrectly timed. Should have gone for something else sooner. And I also really feel like just the mod would have been great for him, to be honest, as well. Like, just a few tools that Baoliang could benefit from. Plus, I think the final issue is just whenever there's an opportunity there for Baoliang, he just failed to exploit versus use. And that was really something that also just really helped use a lot. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Propagandacaster. Cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.